everyone. Sorry I didn't get to go live, last night like I said I was going to. I got home from work. I was super tired. I ended up eating dinner, watching a movie, and passing out in my recliner. So I have some good news and I have some bad news, and I'll start with the bad news first, that I'm not counting myself out for the season quite yet because I'm not sure when the parts will get here. But with that being said, the exhaust blade is missing some chunks here, and somehow this shaft is bent. I'm not really sure. Either that, the bearings, something in the center is not right here. But I'm pretty sure that it's bent because when you would spin this, when it was in the housing, it would catch, and then I could force it a little bit more, and then it would spin, and then it would hit about the same point, and then it would catch, and then I could, et cetera, et cetera. So Pulsar sending me a whole new center, the super core, and I never took out the oil restrictor, pipe Pulsar, and I ran the coolant lines, through the turbo, etc., etc. In the drain, and it had oil in it, and still actually has oil in there. It's all wet in there. So I know that the turbo is getting oil. I know that the turbo is getting coolant. The turbo never got hot. Like the temperature of the coolant never got above 175 degrees. On a pole, sitting still, the coolant never got like above 198. Sitting here in the garage when I first fired it up, break-in oil. So I'm not sure, but I did everything for the warranty, and I'm getting a new center, super core, and I'm just using my exhaust housing in my intake housing. While I had it apart, I ported the exhaust housing to match the transition better, so it flowed more. And I ground down where the wastegate hole is, so it has less of a lip to transition. So little things, maybe it'll help, maybe it won't, don't know, won't hurt anything. But that's the bad news. My turbo decided to take a shit. Good news is, I'll start with the little thing first. SES in Florida. His name's Alex. He's the one I bought the graph gears from. So when you change out third gear, the speedo is run off third gear. So like my mile per hour and stuff wouldn't read. And you can't tune these cars without the mile per hour because it always thinks it at 0. And then you won't be able to use two-step or anti-lag. There's that. And he made a module to convert the signal so it changes it. So now my speedometer reads correctly. It even matches my K-tuner and etc. With that being said, that problem's fixed, and then I ran into the turbo. That's one good to one bad. And then I have another good that'll even crush this bad. This will be good for the whole community, whether you're manual or automatic, or it will only work in the 2.0s. It won't work in the 1.5. So those guys are crap out of luck. But this is where I'm going to get funny about stuff, because it'll keep me from getting mad because of this shit broke. But the DI fuel system that I've been working on, and I finally got the parts for. when I had the head gasket that was leaking. It was like it was a blessing in disguise, because when I built the head gasket, the cam showed up. And when I'm talking the cam, I'm talking the exhaust cam. It's the only cam that I've replaced in this motor is the exhaust cam. The intake cam is a stock cam. And the exhaust is, the lobes for the valves are not modified. The high pressure fuel pump lobes modified for more lift and more duration to physically make the high pressure fuel pump work harder. With that being said, my DI fuel system will be available sometime in the beginning of 2025. I'm going to start releasing them in small batches. With that being said, I'm still working on getting to making a jumper harness so it's full plug and play and you don't have to do any wiring. If I cannot find the male plug that plugs into the stock injector, you will have to do cut your injector plugs off, and then crimp and heat shrink the new injector wires on. And the reason why you would have to cut and crimp the new wire for the the new plugs on is because that the harness on these chassis are aluminum, and you cannot solder aluminum. It just doesn't work. So that's why you would have to crimp them. And it would be no different than crimping an end on to put in a plug. So it should technically work, and it's on mine working. I was running E50, making 30 pounds of boost on the G3770 with no pressure drop, and I'm running 1400 cc injectors and the modified fuel pump lobe. And that's pretty much what my fuel system is. Don't quote me on it, but I'm trying to keep the price around $1,500. Trying to, like I said, it may go up, but that will probably be the starting point, is $1,500. And I'm not really making any money off that, so don't think that I'm like becoming rich off these, because if you go look at injectors are $700-800 plus dollars, and that's not including a cam and wiring and modifying the injectors to fit in these cars, and then etc. So like, you're gonna be paying for the product and pretty much paying me for my time, and I'm not really going to be making any profit off the parts per se. And that's why I'm saying they'll probably start out at $1,500 for like the first 5, and then probably from there they'll probably go up to $1,700-1,800, because it'll eventually get to the point where it'll be time consuming. These aren't just, like I said, I'm going to start out with 5 probably, for the higher horsepower guys that want to make more fuel, push it more, and then I'll make them available to more people, depending on if they want them or not. It's going to be a limited batch thing, and it will be exclusively through me. I plan to sell to other companies, but we'll see where that goes. There's certain people that I don't even want to have the fuel system. Just like personal, you can call it personal vendettas or whatever. I don't want the whack, what do you want to call them? That's fuck. There's a shop in California that I don't want to supply them with anything to make any more power. They already faked dyno numbers. I don't need to give them to be able to give them any more power to explode their head any more than it already does, since they can't even prove that their cars are fast. But with that being said, they're trying to make the fuel system available at the beginning of the year. Like I said, right now, I only know that a E50 no pressure drop on a G30 770 on a manual with no problems. But with that, I'm going to probably end the video here. That's pretty much my update. I'm probably going to go to the dyno and do 60 to 130 until the track opens back up. I'm not, like I said, I'm not counting myself out yet. If I get the parts from my turbo by next week or whatever, I can finish tuning and then maybe make it to the track and then go to the dyno. Just let the numbers talk for themselves. That's pretty much where I'm going to end this right now. I'll include a little video right here of me spinning the turbo over and it catching, and then I'll catch you on the next one. Maybe I will do a live to do a Q&A or something. I'm not really sure at this point. Not really sure what I want to do. I really haven't made this video because I was kind of upset that this happened, and I was pretty much crushed like my whole year. I just wasted putting this car together slowly, and in between this car and customers' cars and working, I kept putting this car off to do customers' cars, and work and etc. Like, I've busted my my ass the last year to continue doing this, what I love. People are going to be like, oh, you wasted your money on an Accord. I don't really care, to be honest with you. I honestly don't. It's what I enjoy doing, and I like to have fun, so I wanted to build the baddest Accord on the planet, and pretty much that is it's tore apart right now, but this is the baddest Accord on the planet. But with that being said, I'm out. There's here. No blades broken on this side. You can see that it catches. And on the back side, on the exhaust side, you can clearly see that there's fins broke. And I can tear it apart and take pictures, whatever I need to do. Woo!